One of the most important parts of a professional attitude is risk-taking. It is a force pushing you to the unknown worlds where successes reside. But going to the unknowns somewhere outside your comfort zone is usually scary. Because of that, you should set it as part of your attitude through practice. In fact, you should develop your risk consciousness. Risks must be taken because the biggest risk in life is to not take a risk. The person who risks nothing, does nothing, has nothing, and is nothing. Only the person who risks is free. If you don't risk, you cannot learn, feel, change, grow, love, and even live. There isn't a thing for nothing. It is against nature's laws. If you want to achieve abundance, freedom, and excellence, you have to take risk. There is no other option. But why don't people take risk? The main reason is the fear of loss, failure, and the perception of others about them. However, we should change our way of thinking about risk. In fact, the real win of taking risk is the confidence and experience we acquire, which translate into new opportunities for growth, enjoyment, and expansion in all areas of life. I remember when I decided to come to the Scrum world, I needed to leave my previous job, which was a well-paid one, and I had been there for around 10 years. But to be honest, it was a big governmental company with too much hierarchy and bureaucracy, and unfortunately, I was not happy there. Indeed, it was limiting me to experience real growth. So, although it was scary, I left it after 10 years and jumped into the ocean of unknowns. However, my dedication and pure desire were my fuel to move forward. Now, when I think of that decision, I can admit that it was one of the best risks that I took in my life. I want to use this moment to improve your risk consciousness by talking about one of the universal laws, which is the law of polarity. It aims that if you can see a negative situation, there is a positive hidden somewhere within the situation, and if you seek it, you will find it. If a risk is to expose oneself to a chance of loss, by law, you must also be exposing yourself to a win. The law of polarity does not merely state that everything has an opposite. It has an equal opposite. If the risk is small, the win will be small as well. But if the risk is big, the win will also be big. Imagine an athlete with the goal of being a champion in the Olympics. It is obvious that it is not an easy work. It needs all your existence and the highest level of dedication. Even fractions of a second can be important in Olympic matches. But if you win, the reward will be stunning. Something that you can be proud of yourself for the rest of your life. Let's investigate the topic in another way. Most people usually have some familiar words in their memory from their childhood. Be careful, you might fall. Unfortunately, they became an ingrained part of our paradigm, leading us to usually play safe. On the other hand, what could have been here if we had heard these things instead? Take a chance and don't worry about falling, because you are going to fall often. Falling is an important part of learning. Many of the greatest lessons you will receive in your life are going to come from falling, from your failures. Falling will never make you a failure unless you quit. So you need to change your belief about taking risk, which would be your new level of knowingness. A little baby is a natural born risk taker. The baby never considers the consequences of falling when it is learning to walk. Everyone, even the baby's parents, knows that the baby will fall, but ultimately the baby will learn to walk. Think of the confidence and passion of both the baby and its parents about the final result, something that prevents them from being worried about falling in the way. You need to plant that approach again in your identity in case of taking risk toward your goals. This is your new level of beingness. You just see the results and are convenient with falling in the way. You don't see them as failures, but as stepping stones toward your desired results. With keeping the baby example in mind, you should change your definition of success with this definition. Success is not reaching the goal. Success is moving toward the goal. Let me talk about the goal concept a bit here. When you define a goal, in fact, you are requesting something that is in a higher vibration compared to your current vibration. Your current vibration has created your current results. So, if you want higher results, you should feel the distance between your current vibration and your goal's vibration. This distance is called the growth gap. So, if you want to achieve your goal, you need to pay the price to fill the growth gap by taking risk. Without taking risk, you cannot fill that gap. Taking risk is essential when you want to reach a goal, and the purpose of goals is growth. I want you to think deeply about the effect of taking risk. Your greatest feeling of satisfaction is always following some great risk. I remember that last summer I went to a beautiful beach in Turkey with my wife, my son, and family-in-law. There was a big aqua park in the hotel. Almost every day we went there to enjoy various facilities in the aqua park. I remember there was a big slide with a steep slope that scared us to use it. But one day, my brother-in-law and I decided to overcome our fear and try it. I should admit it was truly scary, but we went there and jumped. When I arrived at the end line of the slide and stood again, I was like a body without a soul. However, the experience was completely unique, something that I had never felt. Nevertheless, it was the best experience and most joyful item that we tried in that aqua park. Why? Because we went in harmony with the law of polarity. The bigger the risk, the bigger the win. So open your mind, step out of your comfort zone, and take risk toward your goals. Taking risk is mixed with the feeling of fear. You may be scared. Understand that there is nothing wrong with being scared, but we must never permit being scared to stop us. Be honest and ask this question from yourself. Am I living the life that I really want? If your answer is no, taking risk is the way to lead you toward a life that you desire. Maybe it's been a while since you have not satisfied with your job and would love to quit it to start your own business. However, due to the overwhelming fear of failure, you never step out and take the risk of changing jobs and building your own economy. So, if you are in this state, trust yourself and listen to your intuition. It always shows you the right way. Take the risk and own the responsibility for your future. You will spend your time, energy, and money anyway, but it's better you use them in a way showing you a promising future where the prerequisite is the risk that you need to take. All serious work, risks, and dedication toward your goal are rewarded without any exception. So be genuinely willing to pay the price of success. Bear in mind that you should take risks for things that you really want. So your goals should come from your essence and genuine wants. More than that, you should be emotionally involved with your goals. Then your way of beingness should be a belief that it is impossible to fail. This should be your home for seeing the world in your journey toward your goals. In fact, with this style of beingness, you are sending a strong message to the world that you accept no excuses, only results. The promising news is that your strong message has the power to shape the way your world accompanies you to achieve your goals. It is the law of attraction. If you show a high level of dedication, you activate the law. So if in your way you need, for example, a Chinese person to help you, a Chinese person will appear in your way, helping you achieve your goal. It's not an accident. It is the exact law that the universe works with. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes in favor of you, but you can affect all the unknowns behind the scenes by sending your strong message to the world through real dedication. You see, if you become aware of how the world and your inside works, you can put yourself in harmony with those laws and manipulate the results into the things that you want. The great risks are those that are in harmony with your goals and you feel fear and excitement at the same time. It is called the liminal growth point. So intentionally put yourself on the liminal points, a place where you are pushed toward abundance, freedom, and excellence. The essence of the world is for expansion and growth. If you don't grow, it doesn't mean you are fixed. The reality is that you are going backward. Growth is the only option that you have in hand to create a meaningful life. So make a definite decision right now to be a true risk taker.